Beloved, this moment is not random, this message is not casual, and you are not hearing this by accident. Heaven has chosen now this very moment to speak directly to you. You may have felt a pull to click, a strange sense of urgency, or perhaps even resistance. That's how you know this is divine. That's how you know this is not just another video, it's a heavenly interruption, a sacred appointment. The Spirit of God says, "Call to me and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things which you do not know." Jeremiah 33:3, NKJV. This is that moment. You have called out in silence. You have cried in rooms no one saw. You have questioned if God heard you, if your tears were wasted, if your battles were invisible. But heaven heard, and heaven is now responding. Archangel Michael has been assigned to you in this season, not in theory, not as a vague comfort, but as a real-time messenger, a protector with divine instruction and clarity for your healing and protection. I, Michael, have been watching, assigned, positioned, sent by the throne of God to deliver what others could not explain. This message is not ordinary because your life is not ordinary. Everything you've endured, every delay, every strange attack, every season of confusion, it wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And this is the turning point. Beloved, heaven has been leaning in. There has been a kind of spiritual surveillance around you, not to trap you, but to guard you. Angels have watched what people overlooked. The Father has kept record of every injustice, every wound, every act of quiet faithfulness. You've felt unseen, but in truth, you've been divinely observed. I need you to listen carefully, not with your natural ears, but with your spirit. This isn't about impressive language or dramatic tone. This is sacred. This is a transfer of healing, protection, and direction. The Lord says, "You have asked me for a sign. You have asked me for confirmation, and now I send my word. Do not dismiss it." Archangel Michael speaks. There is something small, so small, you almost dismissed it, that is about to be used as the doorway to transformation. The enemy has tried to convince you that it doesn't matter, that your instincts were wrong, that your thoughts about spiritual patterns or physical changes or strange things were just imagination. But I tell you, they were warnings, and now they are confirmations. I was there when you said, "Something just feels off." I was there when you felt heavy for no reason, when peace kept slipping through your hands like water, when the same pattern kept repeating with different people and places. I saw it. Heaven saw it. You have been watched, so you could be rescued. Beloved, don't scroll past this. Don't treat this like another voice online. The one who formed you has been waiting for your heart to be still enough to hear. He's waited for your resistance to drop, your fear to soften, your ears to open. And now he speaks. "My child, I have not forgotten you. I have not overlooked the timing. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are right on time for my restoration." What you're about to hear in the next moments will feel specific, almost strange. You'll wonder, how could this be about that? But that's exactly how God works. He hides divine truth in overlooked things. He wraps power in what seems ordinary. This is not entertainment. This is spiritual intervention. Archangel Michael continues, "Do not miss this. There is something heaven is trying to shift in you. And it begins when you believe this message was assigned to you. You may not know why you paused here, but heaven knows. Michael has been dispatched on behalf of your healing and protection. This is the beginning of a divine reversal, not because of your striving but because of God's timing. You don't have to earn this message. You only have to receive it. Say aloud, "I receive this word. I will not miss my moment." God, speak to me clearly, I am listening. Let this be your declaration, because everything is about to shift. What's been confusing will become clear. What's been hidden will come to the surface. And what's been hurting will begin to heal. So take a breath. Feel the atmosphere around you begin to change. Feel the Spirit of God pressing in. This is your moment. This is your word. This is your invitation. And now, let the next part reveal what's been happening beneath the surface. You've sensed it. You've questioned it. Now heaven will explain it. If you believe Archangel Michael is guarding you tonight, type "protected" in the comments as your declaration of faith and covering. There's been a silent battle, one you were never meant to fight alone. And yet, you've felt the pressure, the fatigue, the strange heaviness that shows up in the middle of a seemingly normal day. You've questioned your own emotions, second-guessed your decisions, and wondered why, no matter how much you try, something always feels blocked, delayed, or stolen. Beloved, listen closely. That wasn't just life. That was war. This is the moment when heaven begins to lift the veil. You've been under attack, not because you were weak, but because you were chosen. And what the enemy couldn't destroy, he tried to distract. What he couldn't remove, he tried to make you dismiss. But God has seen everything. And now, Archangel Michael has been sent to expose the battle, restore your strength, and declare that your reversal has already begun. The Lord says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Ephesians 6:12, KJV. You were never supposed to fight this with logic. You were never supposed to carry this in silence. This was not just exhaustion, not just stress, not just bad timing. This has been spiritual interference. Archangel Michael speaks now. You have been targeted, not randomly, but precisely. The enemy saw what you carried. He saw the light that was forming inside you. And so, he launched a quiet war against the areas of your life that felt ordinary, so you wouldn't notice the attack until it had worn you down. The fatigue, the financial setbacks, the way your relationships suddenly crumbled without warning, the inner confusion, the self-doubt, the emotional heaviness that would not lift. Michael says, these were not accidents. These were assignments, spiritual sabotage masked in the mundane. The enemy knows how to move in silence. He doesn't always come with chaos. Sometimes he comes with delay, sometimes with weariness, sometimes with endless cycles that make you question your own progress. And if he can't stop your calling, he will try to make you feel disqualified for it. But heaven is intervening now. There has been interference in your spirit. There has been a fog that made it hard to pray, to think, to feel hope. There have been moments you nearly gave up, not because you were done, but because something invisible had been pressing against your life. Michael says, child of God, this battle was never your fault, but the victory, that is your choice. Let those words settle. This war was not caused by you, but the ending of it is in your hands now. And you are not alone. Heaven is surrounding you even as this message plays. Angels have been dispatched to your location. This isn't symbolic. This is strategic. Michael continues. The very things that seemed unimportant, your sleep, your hair, your emotions, your patterns were spiritual gateways. The enemy tried to access you through them, and now heaven will close those gates and open new ones, ones that lead to healing, peace, and clarity. Generational pain has echoed through your life long enough. Cycles of rejection, emotional suppression, family dysfunction. They didn't start with you. but they can end with you. You were born with the authority to disrupt what others surrendered to. You are the bloodline interrupter, the healing initiator, the one whom God chose to stand up in a line of silent suffering. And now that you see it, you can break it. Michael says, no more silent shame, no more invisible chains. The delay is over, the confusion ends here. Say this out loud if you can. I will no longer partner with the hidden battle. I step into healing and reversal now. This declaration is powerful not because you feel strong, but because you are aligning with what God is revealing. And when light enters, darkness flees. Beloved, heaven is not waiting for your perfection. Heaven is waiting for your permission. God says, if you will surrender the exhaustion, I will send renewal. If you will release the shame, I will wrap you in glory. If you will stop trying to figure it all out, I will make the path straight. What the enemy tried to wear out, God is about to wake up. Your spirit is stronger than your emotions, your calling is louder than your confusion, and your destiny is still intact, because God never handed your story over to the enemy. Michael speaks gently now. You've been weary because the war was subtle, but I've been fighting for you all along, and now the tides are turning. As this message reaches your ears, angelic movement begins. Things are shifting in the spirit because you are seeing what the enemy hoped would remain hidden. Don't be surprised if clarity begins to flood your mind. Don't be shocked if strange patterns begin to break. Don't doubt it if peace begins to return in areas that have felt dry for years. This is the beginning of reversal. Say again, I receive this reversal. The battle was hidden, but now the healing is revealed. You may feel emotional, that's okay. That's part of the release. The tears, the chills, the pressure lifting from your chest, those are signs that heaven is moving. Michael is doing what he was assigned to do, revealing, protecting, restoring. And beloved, what if the very thing the enemy targeted is the very thing God is about to restore beyond what you imagined? Don't miss what's coming next. It's personal, it's unexpected, and it's sacred. This isn't about vanity, this is about destiny, and your hair has been holding it all along. You didn't know it, but something sacred has been resting on your head. Not just physically, but spiritually. Your hair has been a crown, a covering, a conduit of energy, memory, and divine identity, and the enemy knew it. Archangel Michael speaks. What looked like strands were actually signals. What looked like routine was actually revelation. And now, heaven reveals the truth. Your hair is a shield, your glory, and your story. And two, there is a reason you've felt discomfort. A reason you've sensed something shifting around your appearance, your self-worth, your relationship with your own reflection. Heaven says, you were not imagining the tension. The spiritual warfare targeted your crown. For too long, the enemy has used overlooked things like your hair as a quiet battlefield. Through confusion, damage, insecurity, and manipulation, he's tried to dull something that was always divine. But now, heaven intervenes. If a woman has long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given to her for a covering. 1 Corinthians 11:15, NKJV. This is not just poetic, it's prophetic. God gave you hair as a symbol of glory, a spiritual covering, a marker of your divine imprint, and what the world dismisses as cosmetic, God sees as consecrated. Michael speaks again. Your hair remembers. It holds more than style, it holds memory, frequency, identity. Each strand has witnessed your becoming. Each follicle carries the imprint of prayers, trials, laughter, and tears. Every touch, every decision, whether born in love or pain, has shaped the energy it holds. But here is the revelation. What others mishandled, heaven now restores. What they tried to dull, God now anoints. There were people, yes, there were people who spoke against you. Some directly, some silently. Some tried to make you feel less than, too much, too wild, too unworthy. Others damaged what they didn't understand. Some didn't mean to, some absolutely did. And your hair, it carried the weight of their words. But beloved, you are not broken, you are crowned. This is not the end of your beauty, it's the awakening of your authority. Michael says, "Now, by divine order, I place light upon your crown. I lift the shame, the confusion, the negative energy absorbed by your hair. I strike the unseen chords with the sword of light." Close your eyes now, if you can. Let yourself see it in the spirit. Michael stands before you. He holds a sword not of steel but of glory, gleaming with divine fire. He lowers it gently over your head. One by one, he touches each strand. And as he does, every old word, every wrong touch, every damaging memory disintegrates in the light. You may feel warmth, you may feel chills. That's not emotion, that's energy, that's real. Heaven is restoring what was targeted. Heaven says, "What they tried to weaken, I now bless. What they tried to ignore, I now elevate. What they tried to mock, I now call holy." This is your divine reversal. Your hair will begin to shine again, not just in the natural, but in the supernatural. Even as you brush it, speak over it, care for it, you are releasing new frequencies into your life. Say this now: "My hair is my crown. My crown is covered, and I am protected." Don't whisper it in shame. Say it as a declaration, because from this moment on, your relationship with your hair is no longer rooted in insecurity, it is rooted in identity. You may begin to notice the atmosphere around you shifting. When you walk into rooms, when you pray aloud, when you enter rest, there will be a new frequency, a clarity, a protection resting over your being. Michael says, "This crown is not ornamental, it is spiritual. It marks you as chosen, watched, sealed. You don't need to earn this moment, you don't need to explain it to anyone, but you do need to receive it." Heaven is not interested in performance, heaven is interested in alignment. Beloved, if you've ever felt unseen, judged by appearance, misunderstood in your self-expression, know this: God was always watching the unseen weight your crown was carrying. And today, heaven declares, you are safe, you are sacred, you are sovereign. Say it again: I am not broken, I am crowned, I am covered. And listen, there's something more, something deeper that heaven has seen in you, even when you didn't see it yourself. The same hair they tried to manipulate, the same glory they overlooked, the same beauty they made you question. That is what God is about to use. It's the entry point, the portal, the bridge to healing. The crown you carry is the confirmation of what's to come. So breathe. Let your scalp feel the peace. Let your mind begin to release old thoughts. Let your body relax into truth. Michael remains nearby. He will walk with you as we go deeper. Because what's coming next will show you something heaven saw in you all along. They thought they got away with it, but heaven never closed its eyes. Beloved, this message is sacred, because this one reaches deep. This one touches the unspoken wounds, the ones you stopped mentioning because no one believed you, but heaven believed you. Heaven kept record. Archangel Michael stands before you now, not just as a warrior, but as a witness. And what he's about to reveal is what God saw, what the angels recorded, and what justice will now begin to heal. You were misjudged, mishandled, misunderstood, but never forsaken. There were words spoken behind your back, and God heard them. There were moments where trust was betrayed, and God watched it. There were times when you were left alone, dismissed, made to question your own value, and God wept with you. Heaven kept the receipts. Michael says, every injustice, every lie, every manipulation, they did not vanish. They were not ignored. They were documented in heaven's courts. God is not forgetful. He is merciful, but also just. And now, the balance is shifting. There are wounds in your soul, tiny tears in your self-worth that weren't caused by random life events. They were caused by people. People who should have protected you. People who were jealous. People who saw your light and tried to extinguish it. You didn't imagine it. It wasn't just sensitivity. It wasn't your fault. The gaslighting, the gossip, the strange silences in the room after you walked away, the rejections without explanation, the help you gave that was never returned, the people who smiled to your face and worked against you behind your back. Heaven saw it all. And now comes the turn. But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Genesis 50-20, NKJV. You are not broken, you are becoming. What they meant to use as a weapon, God is now using as a foundation. Michael says, you did not lose. You sowed seeds into soil that others tried to trample, but now the harvest will return, pressed down and overflowing. What was done to you didn't disappear into the past. It was woven into your future, and the time of heaven's recompense is here. Say this aloud with faith. What they meant for evil, God is turning for my good. You may feel tears rise. Let them come. Because what is happening now is not emotional, it's spiritual alignment. The shame that wrapped itself around you is breaking. The soul tie of confusion. Did I deserve that? Was it me? Is snapping. The questions that tormented you, why didn't they protect me? Why did they betray me? Are being answered in the spirit. Because the enemy saw who you were becoming, and he used broken people to try to break you. But beloved, you did not break. You bent, you cried, you almost gave up, but you did not break. Heaven honored that. Michael continues, the things they did in secret, God will restore in the open. You will not be shamed forever. You will be vindicated. This is not about revenge. This is about restoration. You've walked through seasons of hidden pain, but now you will walk into visible peace. God is realigning your story. He is rewriting the parts they tried to stain. There is glory in your scars. There is wisdom in your wounds. There is promotion coming from the very place you were rejected. Michael says, every tear watered a seed. Every betrayal dug the soil for your blessing. And every delay was heaven holding the door until it was safe for you to walk through. Say this now. Nothing done to me will go unrewarded. God is my justice. There are angels surrounding you in this very moment. They are cleansing your memory, gently pulling out the barbs of old words, the echoes of mockery, the residue of rejection. This is not just healing, this is sacred validation. Heaven confirms, you were right to feel what you felt. You were right to pull away. You were right to guard your spirit. And now, God is restoring what was stolen, confidence, clarity, and your voice. The guilt you've been carrying for walking away from toxic people, release it. The anger you've held toward those who used you, then disappeared, let it go. Justice is here, restoration is underway. Michael places his hand on your shoulder and says, now that the truth is revealed, the healing begins. Breathe. Let your body relax into what your soul already knows. You were always seen. You were always valuable. You were always protected. Heaven never closed its eyes. You didn't start this curse, but you're the one chosen to end it. You've wondered why certain struggles feel inherited, why the same patterns repeat in your family: rejection, sudden illness, financial drought, failed relationships, fear, depression, addiction, silence. It's like something invisible has been looping through generations, untouched, unnamed, and undisturbed. But now, heaven speaks, and what has been hidden is being exposed. This is not just about you. This is about your bloodline. And you, beloved, have been chosen as the one to break what others carried. Archangel Michael stands before you now, with a sword of fire, not to harm, but to sever. Not to cut you, but to cut the cords of spiritual inheritance that were never meant to stay attached. And it shall come to pass in that day, that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing. Isaiah 10:27, KJV. That day is today. Michael says, there is a yoke ancient and heavy wrapped around your lineage, and it has followed your family for too long. But now, by the anointing of heaven, I have come to destroy it. This is not imagination. This is not superstition. This is spiritual intelligence. The Holy Spirit is bringing light to the root, so that the fruit in your life can finally change. You've seen it. Your grandmother struggled. Your mother repeated it. You've felt the fear creeping near your door, but it stops now. You are the bloodline breaker. You were sent into your family not to survive the storm, but to silence it. Michael speaks again. You have been anointed for interruption. Heaven placed you in your generation as a divine detour. What plagued those before you will not pass through you. Right now, divine fire is being released not to destroy your family, but to burn away what was never holy. The fire of God is moving to the root, where the pain began, where the trauma started, where the word curses were first spoken, where the doors were opened. You don't need to know every detail. You only need to say yes. Yes to breaking. Yes to cleansing. Yes to standing as the one who says, it ends here. Say this now. I am the bloodline breaker. What started before me ends with me. You may feel heat in your body. You may feel tears rise unexpectedly. You may feel a strange pressure lift. These are not coincidences. This is deliverance. Michael says, the rejection that marked your ancestors ends with you. The illnesses that moved through your family tree are being uprooted. The cycles of silence, shame, and struggle are being incinerated in divine fire. God did not abandon your family, but many generations were unequipped to see what was spiritual. They fought battles in the flesh that could only be won in the spirit, and so the patterns survived until now. Because you are the one who sees, you are the one who listens, you are the one who feels something deeper, who doesn't settle for, this is just how we are. God says, I placed the sensitivity in you on purpose. I gave you the discernment others dismissed, and now I give you the power to sever what others endured. This isn't a burden, it's an honor. You are not cursed, you are commissioned. And as you say yes, the healing will not stop with you, it will flow through you, to your children, to your siblings, to your future marriage, to everyone who comes into your atmosphere. What was passed down as pain will now be passed down as peace. What was carried as shame will now be carried as spiritual authority. Michael stands at the base of your family tree. He lifts his sword. It glows with heaven's flame. And with a single strike, the root is cut. Say it aloud. The root is cut. The fruit will be healed. You don't have to understand all the spiritual mechanics. You just have to believe. This is not your effort, it is your agreement. God is not asking you to fix the past. He is inviting you to interrupt the future. Michael says, "Let the fire fall, let the chain break, let the yoke be destroyed. This is your time, this is your moment, this is your mantle. And now, let the healing begin. Let it rise through your body. Let it echo in your bones. Let it fill the silence that once held secrets. You are no longer repeating, you are rebuilding. You are no longer suffering silently, you are standing prophetically. Breathe deep, heaven is proud of you. Every part of you has been sacred, and the enemy knew it. This may come as a surprise, but the body you've lived in, the skin you've touched, the breath you've taken for granted, has always been more than flesh. It has been a temple, a conduit, a vessel of divine glory, and because it carries such power, the enemy targeted it early. Not always through visible wounds, but through fatigue that made no sense, through shame that clung like a shadow, through sickness that seemed to pass through generations, through the quiet whisper, "There's something wrong with me," but heaven speaks now, and Michael stands here to say, what carried pain will now carry power. Your body, yes, your body was made with intention. It was formed with prophetic architecture, not just to function, but to house the holy. Do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God, and you are not your own? 1 Corinthians 6:19, NKJV. You have been walking around with something sacred. Even in weakness, you were holy. Even when you hated parts of yourself, heaven never did. Michael says, there are areas of your body that have absorbed pain, places where trauma hid, where disease took root, where exhaustion crept in through spiritual doors no one told you were open. The headaches, the heaviness, the tension in your neck, the back pain, the sleepless nights, the hormonal shifts, the fog in your brain, the sense that no matter what you try, your body is always one step behind your spirit. That's not laziness, that's not failure, that's not punishment. That was the enemy trying to make your temple feel like a burden instead of a blessing. But heaven is intervening, and light is being poured into your bones, your blood, your cells, your organs. Even now, you may begin to feel it: warmth, a tingling, a calm. You may feel tears. You may feel something shifting that you can't explain. Let it happen. Michael is ministering to your body. He places his hand upon your shoulder and speaks. This temple will no longer be a target. It is now a vessel of power, healing, and glory. Every breath you take from this moment forward is a declaration. I am a carrier of heaven. I am a temple of light. Say it now. My body is not broken, it is blessed. My cells are healing. My energy is returning. My strength is rising. Heaven is reversing what the enemy initiated. Sickness is retreating. Fatigue is lifting. Unexplained symptoms are unraveling. The weight you've carried in your body for years, spiritual and physical, is being released. You don't need to fight for this. You just need to receive it. Michael says, you don't have to understand every medical mystery. You only need to align with what heaven has already begun. This is not the absence of science, it is the presence of the supernatural. Healing is not always about the absence of pain. It's about the presence of light in places that once held darkness. You may begin to feel warmth in your hands, or a pulse in your feet, or a tingling at the base of your spine. That's not emotional suggestion. That's spiritual visitation. God says, the same body they mocked, the same body you doubted, will now carry my presence in undeniable ways. This body has carried shame, now it will carry glory. This body has been ignored, now it will be honored. This body has been tired, now it will be anointed. Say this out loud. My body is a temple. I am healing. I am covered. Type it in the comments. Declare it publicly. Heaven records agreement. You don't need to hide your pain anymore. You don't need to be embarrassed by your limits. You don't need to compare your reflection to anyone else's. You are God's design, and His presence is resting on every cell. Michael continues. You will notice changes. You will wake up lighter. Your thoughts will begin to clear. Your skin will reflect peace. Your breath will deepen with joy. This is more than a feeling, it's a reset. Even your nervous system is responding. Your sleep is being recalibrated. Your digestion, your immune system, your hormones. Heaven is touching all of it, because your healing is not partial, it is holy. Let the healing begin at the root. Let it move like oil through your spine. Let it rest in your belly. Let it flow through your blood. You are not behind. You are not defective. You are being restored. Say this one more time. Every part of me is sacred. Every part of me is healing. 4, 2, 3, 7. You are a carrier of glory. And your body, this beautiful, weathered, tender temple, has always been worthy of love, protection, and restoration. Michael is still near. His sword is not raised in battle, it's glowing in peace. Hovering above you, marking you, covered, healed, whole. And next, heaven will show you the most overlooked doorway to peace. It's something you've never considered. Heaven says, your rest is a weapon, and it's time to reclaim it. Beloved, you were never meant to toss and turn through the night. You were never meant to wake up heavy, unrested, or filled with anxiety that started before you even opened your eyes. Your nights have been under spiritual surveillance, but not all of it has come from heaven. There have been unseen forces, waiting for the hours when your defenses are low, when your body is vulnerable and your mind is open. But now, tonight, the war ends. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 4-8, Niv. That's not just a verse, it's a divine right, a promise written in the eternal realm. And tonight, Archangel Michael has been assigned to stand at the gates of your sleep. He speaks, your rest is no longer an open door for darkness. Your pillow is no longer a battlefield. I have been ordered to guard your sleep, to restore your peace, and to shut down every access point the enemy has used in the night. For some of you, it began subtly, difficulty falling asleep, waking up at strange hours, recurring nightmares, sudden anxiety when the sun went down, the feeling that something was watching, or the inability to remember your dreams at all. Others of you have carried the weight of ancestral patterns, sleeplessness that runs through your family, restless nights, spiritual encounters, children waking up crying for no reason, but heaven is revealing the root. The enemy knew what you carried in your spirit. He couldn't stop you in the day, so he came for your night. Because if he can exhaust you, he can silence your prayer. If he can disrupt your rest, he can weaken your clarity, cloud your emotions, delay your healing, but no more. Michael says, I have been posted at the edge of your bed. My sword is drawn, not in battle but in barrier. No force of fear will cross this line again. Breathe, let your shoulders drop. Let your chest rise and fall. This is not just about physical sleep, it's about spiritual safety. Your subconscious has been absorbing battles, but now it will receive blessings. God is reclaiming your dream life, the visions, the divine whispers, the instructions for your next season. They're coming back. You see, the enemy wanted to keep you tired, but God is about to make you prophetically rested. He's going to speak to you in dreams again. You'll start to remember the messages. You'll wake up with clarity, You'll feel peace before your feet even hit the floor. Say this now. Tonight, I sleep in peace. My rest is covered. My dreams are holy. Michael continues. I have watched as nightmares tried to return. I saw the patterns, the night terrors. I saw the tears at 2 a.m. I saw the overthinking. I saw the guilt you felt just trying to rest. But I tell you, those nights are over. The torment stops tonight. Tonight, your bedroom becomes a sanctuary. Your bed becomes an altar. Your pillow becomes a throne of peace. Angels will surround you. Not just one, but a host, stationed at every corner, assigned by name. You may feel warmth cover your feet. You may sense a hush in the atmosphere. You may fall asleep faster than usual. That's not exhaustion, that's peace descending like a cloud. God says, I give sleep to my beloved, and you are mine. Let your breath slow. Let your mind be still. Here is your prophetic sleep activation. Repeat this before bed. Father, I surrender this night to you. Let your angels surround me. Let every dream be holy. Let my body heal as I rest. Let my mind reset with peace. I renounce fear. I release worry. I receive rest. This bed is covered in your presence. I dwell in safety because you are near. Say it, pray it, whisper it until your spirit believes it, because your rest has been redeemed. The nights of clenching your jaw, waking up in panic, staring at the ceiling in dread, those are over. Even now, you may feel your eyelids getting heavy. Your spirit knows this is holy. This is healing. Let heaven sing over you tonight. Let the angels speak peace in your dreams. Let your soul enter sacred restoration. Say it once more. I will sleep in peace. I am protected. I am not alone. Say it once more. And know this, when you wake up, something will be different. Lighter, clearer, healed. Because you've just crossed into a deeper kind of peace. A divine kind. Let's go deeper. Your spirit needs what's coming next. This feels like a breaking, but heaven sees it as surrender. Beloved, you've been telling yourself that you're falling apart, that you can't hold it together, that something must be wrong with you, but heaven sees it differently. God doesn't call it failure, He calls it alignment. You're not falling apart, you're falling into His hands. There is something holy happening in the places you thought were coming undone. The tears, the exhaustion, the strange silence between one season and the next, those weren't signs of your collapse. They were signs of your consecration. Heaven has seen your pain, but more than that, heaven has seen purpose rising underneath it. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 41:10, NKJV. You haven't been sinking. You've been letting go even if you didn't realize it. Michael says, your tears are coated with prophecy. Every breakdown has carried instructions. Every night of weeping has been a chapter in your calling. What if the shaking wasn't punishment, but positioning? What if the things falling away weren't the enemy winning, but God clearing space for the new thing? You see, trauma, burnout, and anxiety are often the body's final cry when the soul is undergoing spiritual reordering. It's not weakness, it's holy resistance against old chains. And you have been walking through a recalibration. The old ways of surviving no longer fit. The masks you wore no longer stick. The environments you tolerated now feel toxic. The habits you leaned on suddenly break down. You've whispered to yourself, why can't I just go back to how I used to be? But heaven whispers back, because you're not who you used to be. Michael speaks. What felt like weakness was preparation for wisdom. What felt like falling was a sacred descent into the arms of your Father. What looked like a breakdown was the Spirit opening the door to breakthrough. Let the weight of that truth settle over you. This is not the end. This is not the edge of ruin. This is the beginning of your re-anchoring. God is not distant in your fragile moments. He is nearest when everything seems fragile. Let go of the shame. Let go of the timeline you thought you failed. Let go of the judgment you've placed on your tears. Say this out loud. I am not breaking. I am being rebuilt. I am not losing control. I am finding rest. Michael is here, hovering gently, not with a sword, but with wings of covering. He's not fighting this battle with noise. He's healing you in stillness. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need to explain this to anyone. You don't need to force your way forward. Your surrender is enough. There is a hidden glory in collapsing into the hands of God. There is wisdom that cannot come through effort, it only comes through release. And right now, the Father is catching you. He's not disappointed in your tears. He's not frustrated by your fatigue. He's not judging your delay. He's been waiting for this moment. The moment when your defenses dropped and your spirit opened again. Say this now, God, I give you my unraveling. Turn it into renewal. Let the surrender be sacred. Michael says, you are safer in free fall with God than standing strong without Him. There is no shame in falling into mercy. Yes, the pain is real. Yes, the questions still echo. But beneath all of that, there is a holy current pulling you deeper into divine care. You are not drifting. You are being drawn in. You are not unraveling. You are being re-threaded with heaven's design. The trauma you've endured has not disqualified you. It has qualified you for a deeper anointing. You didn't quit. You didn't walk away. You stayed. You prayed. You cried, and heaven heard every groan of your spirit. God says, you thought you were done, but I was just beginning. You thought you were breaking, but I was softening you for the blessing. You thought it was over, but I'm about to show you what happens when my hand lifts you. Let this moment be the soft ground where healing begins to grow. Let your emotions breathe. Let your body relax. Let your spirit say yes. Say it softly. Say it in faith. I'm not falling apart. I'm falling into God's hands. Michael remains near, still covering, still watching, still gently guarding. And as he stands, the atmosphere around you begins to shift. The chaos of the past few months, the emotional roller coaster, the nights of spiraling thought, are giving way to something gentler. Stillness, peace, alignment. This is what happens when you release control. This is what happens when heaven steps in. This is what happens when love is stronger than fear. Breathe, because something beautiful is coming next. And beloved, stay close. Your reversal is about to be declared. Heaven just signed the reversal, and Archangel Michael is delivering it. This is not a metaphor. This is not a possibility. This is a divine announcement. The delay is over. The waiting season is closing. The devourer has been stopped. And the blessing that was held back is now being released. You've been walking through warfare. You've been stretched by seasons that didn't make sense. You've questioned the timing, the silence, the detours, but now heaven speaks a new word over your life. Reversal. So I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. Joel 2:25, NKJV. Archangel Michael has been dispatched with this decree from the throne of God. He says, every cycle sent to delay you breaks now. Every drought meant to exhaust you ends now. Every lie that kept you stuck is silenced now. This is your turnaround. This is your hour. This is your release. For too long, you've walked with questions. Why do I keep losing ground? Why does breakthrough feel so close but never arrive? Why does everything fall apart right before the door opens? The answer: the enemy saw what was coming and tried to block it, but no demonic plan can override a divine signature, and heaven has signed your reversal. Michael says, the delay was not denial, it was preparation, but now the time has fully come. The angels assigned to you are no longer holding position, they are moving. Listen carefully. This moment is sacred, because this is the spiritual shift you've been waiting for, the one your spirit sensed was coming, even when your mind doubted. Doors are opening, not just one, multiple. You'll begin to notice strange favor. Emails answered, phone calls returned, opportunities that bypass usual systems, conversations that carry weight, provision that doesn't make sense, peace in places that used to shake you. Why? Because the season of reversal is not something you work for, it's something you align with. Say this out loud. The reversal begins now. What I lost is being restored. Michael's voice echoes. No more devourers, no more drought, no more delay. He's not just speaking over your finances, he's declaring over your mind, your body, your family, your timeline, your destiny. Cycles are being broken. Patterns of almost but not quite ending. Long-standing health issues shifting. Fear-based decisions ending. Heaven has sent angels of recovery to rebuild what you thought was lost forever. Let the words of the Lord settle deep in your spirit. I will restore the years, not just the moments, not just the money, the years, the time you cried, the seasons you suffered, the years where nothing made sense. I am restoring it all. This is not hype. This is not hope alone. This is heaven's declaration. And Michael has been ordered to deliver the scroll. He places it before you now in the Spirit. On it is your name, written in fire, sealed with glory. It reads, the devourer has been rebuked. The time has been redeemed. The reversal begins now. Let that settle. Let your heart believe again. Let your body respond. Let your mouth speak what your spirit feels rising. This is my reversal. I am stepping into restoration. Even now, the atmosphere around you is shifting. Light is entering where fatigue once lived. Hope is rising where grief once ruled. Faith is awakening where numbness once settled in. Michael says, testimonies are rising from your trials. Every moment of pain is now producing glory. You won't just survive this, you will shine from it. The very thing that almost broke you is becoming your banner of victory. Beloved, your story is turning. This chapter begins with reversal, but it will be followed by recognition, and then by reward. Don't doubt the signs you're about to see. That favor, it's not random. That breakthrough, it's not luck. That new strength you feel, it's not just emotional, it's angelic assistance. The heavenly courtroom has ruled in your favor, and the sentence has been declared: restore, return, rebuild. End quote. Say this again with boldness: no more devourers, no more drought, no more delay. The reversal is mine. Michael remains close. He is overseeing the handoff. Nothing will be stolen again. Nothing will be missed this time. You are moving forward under the weight of a new decree. And now, you must learn to speak differently, because the next door requires a different voice. Heaven is about to teach you how to use your mouth, not for survival, but for healing. God is restoring your voice because your silence has been a battlefront. The enemy hasn't just been attacking your circumstances, he's been targeting your sound. Not just your words, but your ability to declare, to speak, to command the atmosphere with confidence and faith. You've been silenced by shame, by trauma, by spiritual confusion. by the voice of others who told you to shrink, to stay small, to be quiet. But heaven says no more. Your voice has always been a weapon, and now it's being reactivated. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Proverbs 18:21, NKJV. There's no such thing as a neutral voice. What you speak either creates or it crushes. It either heals or it harms. And for too long, the enemy has hoped you'd keep quiet so you'd never release what was inside of you. Michael says, every time you swallowed the truth, every time you silenced your pain, every time you nodded in fear when you should have spoken in faith, a little piece of your authority dimmed. But that's about to change. Right now, heaven is placing a new mantle on your mouth. Michael speaks again. Your words shape the realm around you. What you declare becomes what you dwell in. Speak life, and life will rise. Speak healing, and healing will flow. Speak truth, and the lies will shatter. It's time to break the silence. Because silence was never supposed to be your strategy. Prophetic speech is. You've seen others use their voice to curse. Now you will use yours to bless. You've watched people manipulate with words. Now you will restore with declarations of truth. This is your voice activation moment. Not just for public speaking, for spiritual warfare, for daily healing, for alignment in your body, your mind, your home, and your future. Let's begin. Say it with faith, even if your voice trembles. I am covered. I am healing. I am chosen. Speak it again. Slowly. Feel the power shift as you say it. I am covered. I am healing. I am chosen. This is not performance. This is prophetic instruction. When heaven speaks, it creates. When you echo heaven, you become part of the creative force that moves mountains. Michael says, stop agreeing with fear. Stop repeating what shame said about you. Start declaring what heaven has already written. Now speak this. My body is a temple. My soul is strong. My future is anointed. Declare over your home. Peace lives here. Chaos must go. Angels are stationed around every wall. Declare over your family. Healing flows through my bloodline. Every curse is broken. Every chain has fallen. Declare over your day. Doors are opening. Delay is finished. The hand of God is leading me. Let your voice carry your healing. Let your words build the life you haven't seen yet. You don't need to wait until you feel it to speak it. You speak it until you feel it. Because your spirit responds to sound, and the enemy flees from declarations of truth. Michael is moving now, clearing the air around you. Even now, you may feel boldness rising. Your chest may lift. Your posture may change. That's the authority of your voice returning. God says, the same mouth that cursed you will now witness you rising. The same voice that stayed silent will now carry my sound. You've been retrained by pain to speak passively. Now heaven is retraining you to speak prophetically. Say this. I cancel every negative word spoken over my life by others or by myself. I bless my name. I bless my breath. I bless my now. Michael says, every time you speak truth, chains break. Every time you declare healing, sickness flees. Every time you proclaim promise, demons tremble. And now this is your charge. Use your voice wisely. Guard it. Don't waste it on gossip or fear. Don't surrender it to insecurity or people-pleasing. Speak as one who is covered. Speak as one who is healing. Speak as one who is chosen. Your voice is your agreement with heaven. Use it often. Use it boldly. Use it without apology. Michael remains with you, nodding in approval, fire dancing at the edge of his sword. Heaven is echoing your words now. Your declarations have gone up as incense. The atmosphere is shifting because your voice has returned. And next, heaven will reveal one more thing, something the enemy tried to access but could never touch. The devil tried everything, but he couldn't touch what God hid in you. You've walked through pain. You've endured loss. You've battled confusion, delay, trauma, betrayal, and even silence from heaven. But despite all of it, you are still here. And not only are you still standing, you're still carrying something the enemy tried to destroy but could never reach, because God hid a weapon inside you, a treasure, a flame, a seed of destiny that not even your worst season could uproot. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. 2 Corinthians 4-7, NIV. Archangel Michael speaks. There is a treasure buried within you. The enemy saw glimpses of it, but could never touch it, because what God hides, hell cannot handle. This is your moment of divine rediscovery. There's something in you that never bowed, not to fear, not to shame, not to manipulation, not even to exhaustion. It may have gone quiet, but it was never gone. God preserved it. Through every storm, He covered it in layers of grace. Through every attack, He shielded it behind walls of divine mystery. When people tried to label you, when circumstances tried to bury you, when seasons tried to silence you, He kept this one thing untouched. And now, heaven says, it's time to uncover what I hid in you. Michael continues, this is the weapon the enemy couldn't steal. Your faith, your divine identity, your anointing, your fire, your secret call to rise when no one is watching. You didn't even know how protected you were. God didn't just protect you from something. He protected something within you for the exact season you're walking into now. This is not about hype. This is prophetic memory being activated. You had dreams as a child, visions you forgot, whispers that came in the night. Heaven didn't forget them. The enemy tried to distract you from them. People tried to convince you they were unrealistic. Life tried to delay them, but none of it worked. Because the dream wasn't just yours, it was God's seed, planted in your spirit, protected by angels. And now, it's sprouting again. Say this out loud. What God hid in me is awakening. The treasure is being uncovered. Michael says, every gift you thought you lost is being restored. Every prophetic edge you feared was dulled is being sharpened. Every creative spark you buried under responsibility is being reignited. This is your season of rediscovery. You thought it was too late, that you were too behind, that too much damage had been done, but heaven declares, it's not too late. God says, my timeline is not delayed, my purpose is not denied. My promise is not diminished, and what I placed in you I will now call forth. Let your spirit respond. Let that old journal dream rise again. Let that untapped gift come back into focus. Let that whisper to write, to sing, to lead, to build, to speak, resurface with fire. The hidden weapon was never gone. It was simply waiting for the distractions to break. Waiting for the right alignment, waiting for your surrender, and now, it's rising. Michael hovers beside you, watching as the treasure glows brighter. He's not revealing something new, he's uncovering something ancient, something that's always been there. God says, I put something in you that trauma couldn't dissolve, that years couldn't age, that people couldn't erase. This is your treasure, and it's time to use it. Say this now. God, awaken every gift you've hidden in me. I say yes to my assignment. You don't have to strive for it. You don't have to compete. You only need to believe it's still there. Heaven is calling you back to your identity. Not the version of you others approved, the version God dreamed before the foundation of the world. Michael says, ask. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. You are not overlooked. You are covered and called. This treasure, your faith, your fire, your wisdom, your endurance, was refined, not ruined. And now, God is assigning fresh oil to old purpose. He's sending angels to assist you as you step into what you thought had expired. This is not resurrection of something broken. It's revelation of what was preserved. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from glory hidden in clay. Let heaven wrap you now. Let the covering descend. You are crowned. You are called. You are kept. You can rest now, because the healing has begun and the protection is sealed. Take a deep breath, not just with your lungs, but with your soul, because heaven has done what it came to do. You've walked through 12 steps of revelation, restoration, and reversal, and now the Spirit whispers, you are safe, you are sealed, you are not alone. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Psalm 121:8, Niv. This wasn't just a message, this was a divine appointment. Before time began, God carved this moment into your timeline. He knew you'd be here. He knew what you needed. And He sent Michael, not with fear but with covering. Archangel Michael now bows, not because you are greater than him, but because heaven honors your endurance. Heaven saw the battles you didn't speak of, the nights you cried silently, the prayers you whispered even when your faith felt small. And Michael says, you didn't quit, you stayed, you kept believing, even when the answers delayed. And for that heaven releases a covering like never before. Right now, a divine seal is being placed upon you. Not a seal of striving, a seal of rest. A holy mark that says, this one is mine. The seal is resting on your mind. Peace for the thoughts that once raced. It's resting on your body, healing for every cell, every fiber, every bone. It's resting on your family protection for your home, your children, your legacy. It's resting on your future assurance that your path is not random. It is divinely directed. God says, you are not too late, you are not forgotten, nothing was wasted, everything is redeemed. Michael lifts his hands over you in blessing. The sword is no longer for battle, it's become a symbol of divine peace. He draws a line around you in the spirit. No darkness can cross it. No sickness can linger in it. No curse can rest within it. You are covered. Let those words echo deep in you. I am covered. Say it now. I am covered. I am healing. I am safe. Not because of your perfection, but because of God's protection. Not because of your strength, but because of His seal. There's no pressure here, no striving, only rest. This moment is your spiritual exhale. The kind you didn't know you needed. The kind that says, it's okay now, the worst is over, God is here. Michael says, let your pillow be holy. Let your walls be guarded. Let your days ahead be different, because you are no longer unsealed. You walk forward with heaven's mark. Let this be your prayer tonight. Father, I receive the seal of your protection. I trust the healing you've begun. I surrender the outcomes I cannot control. I thank you for sending your angel to speak what my soul needed to hear. I rest in you. I am covered by you, and I say yes to the new beginning. Heaven responds, not with lightning or thunder, but with stillness, with softness, with peace. This is your spiritual lullaby. Not to make you forget the battle, but to remind you, it is finished. The war was real, but the covering is permanent. The healing may still be unfolding, but the seal has already been applied. There's nothing more you need to do tonight. There's nothing more you need to prove. Just rest. Just trust. Just receive. And when tomorrow comes, come back to this place. Whispered invitation. Come back tomorrow. This is your sanctuary. This is the altar heaven built just for you. The holy ground where fear breaks, where clarity returns, where angels linger, and the Father sings over you. Let the peace wrap you now. Let the breath slow. Let your spirit sink into the safety of this moment. Michael speaks one final time. The promise is sealed. The angels remain. You are covered. And that, beloved, is enough. Thank you for walking through this divine journey. You are loved. You are sealed. You are protected.